Hey there, everybody. Pastor Jason here. Time for our daily devotionals. Today we're in Psalm 52, and I'm going to pray and we're going to get right into it. Father, thank you so much for this short little song. Father, as we look to know who to depend on, who to count on, Father, reveal yourself more and more to us. Lord, may we lean on you and rest in you and trust in you through faith in things not seen. Lord, may we not put our trust in our riches, but in you alone. In your name, amen. Well, if you gathered from my prayer, you can kind of guess where the psalm is going today. Let's just jump right into it and we'll get started. Verse 1. Why do you boast of evil, O mighty man? The steadfast love of God endures all the day. Your tongue plots destruction like a sharp razor, you worker of deceit. You love evil more than good, and lying more than speaking what is right. You love all words that devour, O deceitful tongue. But God will break you down forever. He will snatch and tear you from your tent. He will uproot you from the land of the living. The righteous shall see and fear, and shall laugh at him, saying, See the man who would not make God his refuge, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and sought refuge in his own destruction. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the steadfast love of God forever and ever. I will thank you forever because you have done it. I will wait for your name, for it is good in the presence of the godly. So, what do we learn about the Lord? What do we learn about man? Is there a sin to avoid? Commandment to follow? How are we going to come away changed? Well, there's several things we can learn about the Lord very quickly. Like there is right and wrong, and he judges righteously through it. Verse 1, we find out that his steadfast love endures all the day. We can count on the love of the Lord, but that he also will uproot those who are unrighteous in verse 5. And finally, in verse 9, I love this one, that his name is good. It's good in the presence of the godly. So when you're working through life, as life happens, the good, the bad, the indifferent, wait on the name of the Lord as you seek to figure out how to handle whatever situation is before you. What do we learn about man? Well, you've got this, again, this capacity to do two things, right? First off, the natural capacity to trust in your own righteousness, trust in your own material wealth. That material wealth kind of equates to righteousness. That you're going to boast of your riches. You're going to boast about the things that don't have any bearing on the soul. And so, but then there's that other end where you could wait on the Lord, that you are going to seek him as his refuge, as your refuge. Because we can take verse 7 there and kind of flip it around, right? If that's the negative portion, the God who would not make God his refuge, the man who would not make God his refuge, well, make God your refuge, who trusted in the abundance of his riches and sought refuge in his own destruction. Seek in the abundant riches of Christ. Trust in the Lord. Man has also the capacity to trust in the steadfast love of God. Can we not turn to that more often? So is there a sin to avoid? Well, be careful what you're talking about. Be careful about what you're boasting in. Be careful about lying and causing deceit and causing disunity, causing to tear others down. That verses 2 through 4. Verse 7 too. Like if you're not taking your refuge in the Lord, you're taking your refuge and your comfort in your material wealth. how the economy is going, you've got your focus on the wrong thing. So what commandment is there to follow? I would tell you, and we've said it several times, trust and rest in the knowledge that the Lord is good and that He is your refuge, He is your strength, that His love endures through all things. How are you going to trust in the Lord more today? How are you going to shift your trust from whether it's the state of the economy or your own personal wealth? And how are you going to turn that trust more to Jesus Christ? Think on that today. Pray on that. If you can't think of anything, pray the Lord would give you wisdom and insight about that. I hope 52 has been a blessing to you. Go out and be a blessing to those around you. And I'll see you tomorrow with Psalm 53.